Happy Father's Day.
Thank you, son. Happy Father's Day to you, too.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Tell me, whenever you had your first child, did you just wrap them in bubble wrap? Were you that scared?
No. Back then, 30 years ago, we were living in a different kind of environment
Oh, that's true.
than we are today. I didn't think that we lived in such a, unsafe, kind of crazy environment. However, we did protect your older brother, and you, of course, and your younger brother. But
Well, people say that you always start off really strict with the first child, and then as you have more, you loosen up all the rules.
for real, so we probably have 1,000 pictures of your older brother,
Yeah.
500 pictures of you, and probably 100 pictures of your younger brother. So
Or like 1,000
that's kinda
seconds
like
on the
a-
giant camcorder. That
correct.
You had on your
Yeah,
shoulder.
no doubt. It's kind of funny, but no, life was definitely different.
Yeah.
30 plus years ago,
Sure.
than just from a safety. It's also became a mental thing,
Well, knowing what you learned over the last 30 years, and looking at the world today, what do you think are some important ways that guys who have young kids or maybe middle school, high school, college age kids right now to think about safety for their family?
You definitely can't take anything for granted anymore, right? We used to, you've heard that cliche, we used to leave the doors unlocked. We didn't necessarily leave the doors unlocked, but we kind of did. In other words, we weren't so worried. And really, right now, I don't know, with the increase in social media activity, all the things that you see time in a flash as it's happening in real time right now, and you get to some sense, so you always kind of got to be prepared, Your situational awareness, where you just got to know your surrounding, understand that.
Yeah.
It sounds a little bit far-fetched, but really it's not,
But it does seem to be true that life is getting faster and faster and faster, the speed of things, communications.
Yeah.
So you're right. In every aspect of life, it seems like we have to be more and more prepared.
Correct. It's not getting any easier. So for you, younger generations that have kids right now, I think you're all going to have a little bit more of a challenging time. As values have changed in our country, we're not really living by the same values that we used to live by. This is just it's a very changing world. I don't feel like I have changed a lot. I still believe in God, family, and country, and
Sure.
those are, we keep those values tight to our family, but as you look outside, that's not the case. That's not the case everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
And we have to live with everybody.
Well, with the moral compass of your faith in mind, that's your basic guiding principle, right? So with that being important to you, what are some practical things that you suggest that fathers do at home or out and about, just practically to keep their family safe, no matter what the situation might change into?
I don't know. That's something, that is a good question.
I know you mentioned before simple things like if you go to a restaurant, like sitting on the side of the table where you can see the door, right?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. So by nature, that is definitely something that I have always practiced, right? Not generalizing this thing. I can see. Yes, I'm always aware of who's parked beside me, who's riding behind me. A lot of times, man, we are distracted. We are living right now in very distracted times. And going back to social media, the telephone, the screen time, all those things really take our attention from the things that should be important, right? And definitely one of those things is, as a father, protecting your home. Being that shield, being that wall, your family stands behind you.
Well, let's bring it back to Premiere. We just released a home shield.
Correct.
Right?
Very
Why
good.
why did we do that? And how does that
Very
play
good.
into this?
Yeah, so again, it could be a little bit far-fetched, but it's kind of like that saying that I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it, kind of thing. So how do
Sure.
you prepare yourself at night when you put your kids go to bed and everybody's asleep, 2 o'clock in the morning, you hear a door busting in. What the heck do you do then, man? Your heart starts racing. I mean, you're terrified. Anybody that says that they're not terrified,
Oh, you've been
they're
in that
probably lying.
situation, right?
Yes, I've been in that situation twice. I've been in that situation, and thank goodness, neither of those 2 times was a burglar. But I clearly remember. Oh my gosh, I'm terrified. But if you don't have some kind of a plan ahead of time, at least you have thought about it. You have discussed it with your wife, with your family, with whoever you live with. Hey, in the event that something like this happens, this is what we need to do. So the first time, I had not discussed it. It was just an automatic thing. I got up and I had a weapon, but I'm scared to death. I'm literally terrified, right? I call 911. I'm shaking. My voice is shaking, and I couldn't have done anything really. I said, how unprepared I was for something like that. Listen, if we think that will never happen, we're kidding ourselves. However, not being prepared is a guarantee that you're going to fail.
Sure.
It's a guarantee that you're not going to be able to protect the very things that you say you live for every day, which is your family.
Yeah,
So,
because it's going to happen to someone.
so
right?
the shield.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, so the shield. Hey, listen, the shield is great, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a plate carrier. Beside my bed. It doesn't cost me any problems to have beside my bed. Just always thinking, hey, God forbid that happens at 1 o'clock in the morning, man. That door gets kicked in and home invasion, whatever. I want to throw it on. It takes me 10 seconds to throw it on. Grab my weapon. I practice with it. I can handle it very well. I feel very comfortable with it.
Sure.
And I can come and defend my family, right? Protect my family. Now, the home shield has become actually even easier to handle, the way we designed it and stuff, to where you can actually creep out, out to the corner and still
Sure.
have your weapon on your hands and still be protected. So, is it excessive? I don't know. It could be. However, the flip side of the coin is that it's never excessive when you're protecting your family. You know what I'm saying? Why would you give up any advantage to somebody that's trying to harm you? No, you take care of the target immediately. That way, there is no, later on, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have done something else. No. So, listen, son, protecting you and your brothers and your mother have always been my number one priority. Money has never been the thing that wakes me up every morning and gets me to go to work and all those things. No, it's our family. So yes, so I don't think I'll ever give that up.
Yeah.
I hope that you and your brothers also have the same mindset of protecting your number one, which is your wife and kids.
Yeah.
So, so for Father's Day, I think, hey, I'm thankful, man. I've been a dad for 32 years.
Yeah.
It's just a long time,
It's a long time. Let's bring it all the way around then, full circle. So you've done the job of protecting us. We're all adults now. We're having our own kids and starting to think about protecting our own kids, actively doing that. Now, is your mind more fully set on like the legacy side of the coin, right? You kind of did the work in the younger years, and now you're thinking about legacy and what comes next for the family. How important is that for young guys?
It's super important, So for us, we're stewards, right? And, listen, we had boys, not girls. So you boys get to carry our last name forward.
Sure.
So we need to do a good job. I feel like we have done a good job at preparing that. Now, our desire would be that, our legacy would be that you all do well. Okay, that way it's a show and tell that we did a good job.
Sure.
If we have to continue, I don't want to continue every day, killing it, right? No, I think there's a time for, letting the next generation take over and build from what we have done and take it to another level, right?
Sure.
Which I think that's what we're doing at Premier.
Yeah,
At Premier Body Armor. Yeah, sure. I mean, you're the president of the company. I feel privileged that you're doing this. So yeah, so that's part of our legacy. We've done the same with your brothers. The real estate business and now this horse and all this stuff that we're doing. So
well, it's a cool perspective. Fathers are definitely called to be teachers, to teach their children the way they should live, teach them how to be successful in life. Those things. I think you've done a great job. So,
well, thank you.
Yeah, I'll definitely say thank you for that on this Father's Day. So to wrap this up, what do you think would be a short statement that you would give to the dads out there who are they're Premier Body Armor guys, or they're thinking about joining this Premier Body Armor crew of customers and users? Like, what would you say to them on this Father's Day?
Take care of your families. Really, if you're a young fellow, even an older fellow, take care of your families. Protect your families. Make them number one in your life, your physical life. There's a lot of tools out there that you can do that with. And don't take anything for granted. Children really watch what you do, what you say, how you behave, and I think a lot is said about that. Love God, love your family, love your country. I think that summarizes really the essence of living 80 years.
With all that in mind, it sounds like fathers have a big job to do, and we need to do it well.
And it never stops.
And it doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop, no matter what your age is. And now I'm a grandfather.
It's true.
So now, man, I get to do really cool things with your kids, So everybody begins all over again.
It's the way it was meant to be, right?
Yep.
Well, Happy Father's Day again, and thank you for sharing this wisdom with us.
Happy Father's Day to you too, son.